Historically, few ultra-Orthodox Jews have served in the Israeli army, a fact that sparked resentment and contributed to recent anti-government protests. But in the 2 weeks since Hamas's attack on civilians in southern Israel, more than 2,000 young men from this religious community have volunteered to serve. Leila Milana Allen has that story.
As Israel prepares for a ground war, more than 300,000 reservists have been called up to serve. Many haven't fought for years or only completed basic training. Getting them all up to speed is a huge challenge.
Could be training for tunnel mobilization, knowing how to maneuver in a tunnel and how to conduct combat in tunnel. Or it could be how mobilizing in urban areas, which is also a specific challenge in itself. So there's a lot of I would say upskilling is the word.
But some of the new recruits will have no baseline military skills to up.
The Haredim, or ultra-Orthodox Jews, make up about 15% of Israel's population and are its fastest growing community. They don't traditionally undertake military service, instead believing that they serve by having young men between 13 and 22 commit to full-time study of the Torah, which casts a protective net over Israel and Jewish society.
Earlier this year, the NewsHour was on the ground as protests against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's extreme right coalition government swept through Israel's cities. This was one of the demonstrators' chief grievances. Some secular Israelis felt their young people were being sent to serve their country, while the ultra-Orthodox, as they saw it, got a free pass.
Some of us are feeling like we are carrying the weight of our country while other people are just benefiting from it.
In 2020, just 1,200 Haredim were serving in the IDF. Now, twice that number have volunteered to fight over the past 2 weeks. Rabbi Ravad did his Torah study as a teenager and then decided to continue to military service. He later served as chief rabbi to Israel's Air Force. When the IDF needed recruitment help after the October 7th Hamas attacks, they knew who to call.
The army told me if you bring 50, we'll open the unit. They asked for 50, I brought 450. I now have a list of 1,400 Haredis who are interested in joining to help the army in these horrible days.
Ravad hopes this new call to serve amongst young Haredim will change his community's relationship with Israeli society.
There's a problem in this country that Israel's public doesn't understand the ideology of the ultra-Orthodox. And that's why the subject creates a lot of conflict. There are some who interpret their beliefs as the Haredi community being against the army.
He says the influx of volunteers is proof that simply isn't true. 30-year-old father of 3, Moti Leitner, is one of those volunteers. Raising his family in the ultra-Orthodox neighborhood of Bet Shemesh, he never saw army service in his future. The terror attacks changed his mind.
We saw scenes and pictures and movies that only you know it, you hear it only from the movie. And it's real. Babies and adults and teenagers, terrible things, and actually I sit here and cry and cry. I couldn't sit and just do nothing.
Moti knows joining up will transform the quiet life he and his wife Ayala have built for themselves here.
I have my wife's supportness, so that's what I need actually. She will pay the price of my decision, but she is okay with that.
As for training and deployment, he knows he'll be miles behind those who were put through their paces at 18, but says he's up for the challenge.
Moti, most of the people who are being called up have done their military service, however long ago it was. You've never been trained, you've never fought before. Are you afraid?
We don't have a choice. We should be there and do our best.
Moti realizes many who share his beliefs aren't ready to take the same step. But he hopes they'll soon see a new belief the attacks have given him, that to keep their community safe, they must do their physical as well as religious part.
What it was in the past will not be in the future. Everything will going to change.
As Israelis unite across political and religious divides for the war effort, the question remains whether this fight will change society for good or simply kick internal disputes on down the road. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Leila Milana Allen in Jerusalem.